What's up, YouTube? It's running a quick video. Well, a lot of people have been talking about this fragrance lately, and judging by the notes, it might be pretty good for the spring. It also might be a cheap but good fragrance. Which fragrance am I talking about? Stay tuned and find out. So today's video is going to be another unboxing, first impressions, and update video. This time the fragrance comes from the house of Brooks Brothers. It is New York Gentleman. So New York Gentleman from the house of Brooks Brothers is a green floral aromatic fragrance released in 2008. The nose behind this fragrance is Richard Herpin and it is an eau de toilette concentration. All right, let's check out the presentation. All right, so here is the box for New York Gentleman. As you can see, it's just a plain navy blue box with the white label here. It says Brooks Brothers New York Gentleman on there. Has a diamond pattern going across the front, as you can see. Size of the bottle here on the bottom. Some information on the back. But other than that, not too much going on with this box, but it does look really nice. Let's check out the bottle. Alright, so here is the bottle for New York Gentleman. As you can see, it just says Brooks Brothers here with New York at the bottom. It does have their insignia here, which is a sheep hanging from a bow. Nice dark blue see-through bottle here. Has a gold cap on it. I believe this is plastic, but this might be a thin metal on the outside here with plastic on the inside. Nice gold atomizer here. I did see a different presentation online that looked like it was more of a square bottle, kind of with a box that opens from the top. Maybe they just took down their presentation a notch, but otherwise it still is a nice presentation, so I'm pleased overall. Alright, so here are the notes for New York Gentleman. In the top we have bergamot and spices. In the mid we have verbena and grass, and in the base we round things off with woods. So I don't really know too much about this fragrance. The only thing I really know about this is that people were raving about it, saying how good it smelled, and it was also really cheap at Marshall's right now, and TJ Maxx, I believe. It's only $19.99. If you look online, it's going for a lot more, probably triple the price, which is crazy to me. I'm not sure if it's been discontinued or not. I do know that Brooks Brothers is a clothing line. I've seen some of their clothes, and once I even owned one of their shirts in the past. Their stuff's nice. Don't know about their fragrances, never tried one before, but like I mentioned before, people were raving about this and saying that they can't believe that Marshall's was selling it for $19.99. And I did go online and look, and I mean, I don't know if it's like the whole algorithm thing, but I saw bottles on Amazon going for over $300. On eBay, these were going for over $60. I don't know if it's the old presentation versus the new presentation, old formula versus new formula. Not really sure what's going on with that. All I know, these are 20 bucks at Marshall's, so I was happy that I got my hands on one. Hopefully there's some still left. That way, if I like it and you guys want to take my recommendation on this one in the update, you guys can still find them at your local Marshall's. But let's give this one a first impressions. All right, here we go. Clean hand. Sprayer's okay. Okay. Definitely getting the bergamot, definitely getting the lemon verbena, definitely getting the green grass notes. This is very reminiscent to a lot of other white floral kind of citrusy fragrances. So if you smell this from the first impressions, you're gonna be like, okay, I've smelled this before. But this one is nice. I do smell some quality in here. It smells like ivory soap. So if you guys ever smell that, that's kind of like an old school kind of gentleman vibe cologne that's been out. I think Aqua Colonia kind of really owns that DNA from the house of Aqua de Parma. Their release Colonia smells a lot like this one, or at least the DNA of that old school gentlemanly kind of soapy green fresh fragrance. But this one's nice. It's not offensive at all. It's sort of been done before, but I mean, for $19.99, I'm not losing a lot of money here for this fragrance. A lot of it's going to really have to depend on the update, with this fragrance. Yeah, but right now this one's clean and fresh. I don't get the spices. I get a lot of the verbena, a lot of the bergamot, and the citrus notes, the green grass notes, and the woods in the base. Definitely a good, this is a nice fragrance. It's not unpleasant at all. Has it been done before? Yes. Could this one last longer than the other ones? Could this one be a little more pleasing, after 10 minutes than the other ones? Maybe, it's just been a few minutes now. But right now, yeah, I'm getting it's sitting pretty strong on the skin here. I'm getting, it has a decent concentration. It smells like it might have a little bit of staying power, which is nice because a lot of those fragrances in this genre don't really last very long. With the upcoming spring, this might be a perfect fragrance. But yeah, so right now, not blown away by this fragrance. It smells nice. It definitely, if you know, Brooks Brothers with the font and the way the bottle looks, you know, New York Gentleman really does remind me of like an old school fragrance, right? Just the name alone reminds me of like 1930s New York. So if that's what they're going with the fragrance inside the bottle, then I think they're achieving that, because this fragrance is kind of a classic. This is a classic DNA. But right now the fragrance does seem like it has pretty good little staying power on it, so that's kind of surprising me a little bit. So that's something to look forward to. But right now, like I said before, that same old DNA, the floral and the citrus, with the verbena and whatnot, the ivory soap smell that's been done before. Acqua di Parma, Colonia, I believe, is very similar to this. But yeah, just the first impressions, guys. Give this one a few wearings and give you guys an update shortly. Talk to you then. All right, well, I'm back with my update for New York Gentleman. All right, so I spent the last few days with this fragrance, and I must say I do like it. It's not going to be for everybody, I don't think. It's not going to be one of those fragrances that's going to be like a club banger or just something that's super mass appealing. And I also got to be honest, it was pretty cold outside the last few days, so I don't think I'm really giving this one enough credit. But it is still very pleasant. I just think it would probably shine a little bit better in the warmer weather. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so I like this fragrance. It is, like I mentioned in the first half of the video, it remains soapy. It remains kind of earthy from the vetiver. One thing I did mention more was the carnation in this fragrance. There's a lot of carnation in this fragrance. It gets very floral to my nose. I would say it's dominated heavily by the carnation floral note after maybe the first 30 minutes or something like that. After that, you get all floral. I did wear this, and a friend did say it was very fresh. She's like, oh, it smells really nice, man. What is that? It smells very soapy and fresh and clean, which is not a bad thing. But I will go back to the first half of the video and say that this has sort of been done before. This isn't groundbreaking. Definitely not jaw-dropping or anything, but it is good. I think that if you find this fragrance at TJ Maxx or Marshall's for $20, I think you are getting a cheap but good fragrance. If it's not 20 bucks, you know, I don't think I would pay, you know, the retail price for this, or even the inflated prices that I mentioned before as well, like $200 and anything like that. I wouldn't pay $65 for this fragrance. If you can find this fragrance for 20 bucks, I would get it. So like I mentioned, it was pretty cold the last few days when I wore this, but I do think this fragrance will do a lot better in the warmer weather, spring, definitely summer, you know, in the warmer weather, because I think you'll get better performance out of this one. I did get decent performance from this fragrance, though. I did get about 6 hours altogether with this one. The first hour and a half, 2 hours were projecting pretty well. But overall, not a bad fragrance. I think it turned into a skin scent for another couple of hours. So altogether, it'll be 6 to 8 hours probably for the longevity side of things. Projection wasn't great. It's awesome in the first hour. It kind of dies down, you know, pretty close. After the second hour, you can still get wafts. And you'll catch it every now and then after that, but it's just not very strong sillage after that. But, you know, not bad for a $20 fragrance if that's what you're paying for it. That's pretty good for a $20 fragrance. So the occasions, I would say, would definitely be for casual use during the day, probably. It is a nice, fresh, vibrant, you know, clean fragrance. Maybe for work. This definitely won't offend anybody. I think you'll probably get good feedback with this one. Anywhere where you're working in kind of close quarters, or, you know, during the day, casually at work, something like that, this fragrance would be great in. Ages for this fragrance, I'll definitely say would be 25 and up. I think the floral note in this is definitely going to turn some younger noses off. I think the freshness will probably catch your interest from the, you know, with the bergamot and the citruses and whatnot. But after that dies down, the floral kicks in. I think it would probably turn some noses off. It is kind of an old school smell as well. So I think, you know, 25, 30, 35 and up will definitely like this fragrance because it does have that old school vibe. But the freshness kind of gives it a new school vibe as well. So overall, I think this is a, you know, a decent fragrance, especially for $20. I wouldn't pay any more than that, like I mentioned before. But if you can find this for 20 bucks, I think you should give it a shot. If you own fragrances like Colonia from Acqua di Parma and those kinds of freshies, you might want to stay away from this one because this does have that dated, gentlemanly smell that those have. But then again, if you like those, but you don't think those are floral enough, I think you should definitely give this one a try. The floral note is definitely not for everybody. It might even lean a little unisex because of the florals. But personally, I think it's good enough for any man to pull off. So has anyone out there tried New York for Gentlemen from the house of Brooks Brothers? If you have, let me know your experience down in the comments below. I thank you guys so much for watching another video on my channel. If you like this video and want to see more videos like it, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider turning on notifications by hitting that notification bell. That way when I upload new videos, you'll be the first to find out. Please follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. Please like, comment, subscribe. And until next video, you guys take care. Thanks.